What up? Dre, how are you? How's everybody doing this evening? Why can't I pin this? Okay, here we go. We're going to have a cool vibes this evening. Relax. It's Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. It's almost over. Excitement. Evening, Adam. Goody in the hoodie. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Got my Moscato for the evening because it's not good if you don't have a drink for the night. Get my first sip on. And we're going to get started. So, we have 3 topics for the night. The first topic is friends to lovers. How do you make that transition? Ooh, messing up with the camera. How do you make that transition? The second topic of the evening is going to be, when do you call it quits? And the third topic of the evening is cis women, transgender women. Will we ever just get along? So, hello. You're always welcome to type into the chat. I will read your comment. And we'll get started. So, friends to lovers, right? When I was thinking about this topic, like I said, I always talk about my topics in like a little, I guess, brain chamber, getting people's ideas and thoughts about it so that I can kind of bring their ideas, to the forefront, kind of be the voice of this group. And y'all can share as well. Like I said, this is a community. Everybody should feel safe about talking and discussing. So, the first topic is, right, friends to lovers. Complicated? It could be. It could be. But that's why we're going to have this discussion. And hopefully it's not too long. I can, kind of condense it. Because when we were having the conversation, to tell you the truth, we were thinking about all the movies that are out here, right? And all the movies of rom-coms that we see are generally where they're not attracted to their friend, right? And they just become the buddy. And then something dramatic happens in someone's life and they realize, like, this is the person for them. And then they, at the end of the movie that they're together, these friends become lovers, and they walk away in the sunset, and it's like, oh my goodness, my friend is now, like in Brown Sugar, right? My friend is now the booty and everything like that. And they move into the sunset, right? Now, we see that happens over years of time, right? And a lot of times we call that like, oh, they're friend zoning and everything like that. Now, the school of thought that I had with that was, when you're in the friend zone, okay, that is because a woman has chosen for you to be there, right? She's chosen to put you in the friend zone because of whatever her reasons are, right? Because she doesn't think that you're attractive, you have certain qualities that she doesn't care for, and so on. And it's rare, right, that a man will put a girl in the friend category unless he just straight up is not interested in her whatsoever. But if there is an opportunity to hit, right, you're gonna want to try to that. Where some women now have that mentality too, right? That if he's attractive, then they don't care about whether or not he can be a friend, right? They want to let it, basically smash, right? And then you find out that person is not the material, and then you make that the friend, right? So that could happen in both instances. But when we're talking about the friends to lovers, that it's easier said than done. And understand me on this, right? That we came to the idea that people don't take enough time to get to know each other, right? That when you're initially attracted to somebody, that people aren't actually courting anymore. And let me break that down to you guys who don't know what courting is, okay? As my friend said to me, because I'm going to use their words, because a woman doesn't court, a man courts. And it's like basically a give and take, it's a dance, right? And that is a man treating a woman as if she's already his. They're basically seeing how a relationship would play. And after such a time, they decide that they want to continue further, or this is not what they want. And, a time is discussed, or, later discussed and stuff like that. So it's a relationship. It's a business relationship. It's a partnership that you both go into. Because that's what it is. If you really want to look for that long-term person, it's a forever thing. So you actually are going to business with that person, because there's profits, there are losses. You have to go through everything with them. And if you're not able to do that in life, if you can't do that in business, if you can't do that in any aspect, then that relationship is not going to work, because it has to be a give and take. There's going to be a loss for you and gains for you, and you have to be able to deal with those. So we feel that basically a lot of women can put men in this friend category, and it's because not given enough time to know him, basically calling him a nerd or a geek or something like that. So I feel that, and a lot of times, the friends to lovers relies a lot on the female. What do y'all think? Like I said, y'all are open to share what y'all thoughts are and everything like that, and get back at me. I hope y'all are all having a great evening, and welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. But so it's very different from the rom-coms that we see, right? We either see that they've been friends for a long time and they recognize each other, or it's a frenemy aspect, or in a lot of different cases, they are bound together because of a trauma, right? A trauma bond. And those bonds are toxic. They're not going to last, right? So when we're talking about a friends to lover situation, we're hoping that it's going to be something that's long lasting. And I like to think I'm a romantic, so I want something that's long lasting. Eric the Model says, before I met my wife, the act of trying or attempting to court properly was looked at as corny or weak or weird. But she accepted it, right? Eric the Model, she accepted the way that you courted? Because obviously that's why she became your wife, right? Because she understood you. You guys not only had chemistry, but you had an understanding, a meeting of the minds. Okay. See, Eric the Model says absolutely. So, yeah, you have to have a meeting of the minds. And no, you are, Eric, from what I know of you, you're an upstanding man. Like, I was so excited when you got married. I got so excited for when you had the baby. That's, you are that romantic. You are the rom-com. You and me both got, like, Loving the Notebook, That's both of our movies, like, yo. You should go on some romantic dates first. Yeah, well, that's part of the courting process. I mean, it's not just dates, but it's like doing a give and take. It's about being there for the person, and seeing how y'all can come up with solutions and how y'all can figure out things together, but you got to both pour into each other. And I think that's why the friend zone works for some people, because they don't want to pour into a person. They're happy with giving the limited of what they can. So that courting allows you to be able to see that. And I don't think that people give enough time to say, let's be friends, which is the part of the courting process. I mean, you don't have to have sex. I mean, because sex does put things more into the mix. Lilo the Experience says, I do agree that a woman will put a man in the friend zone when she's not interested in him like that. Eric the Mom says, I know every Notebook line. Yes, exactly. The Notebook is the bomb. And yes, you're right that a woman will friend zone, a man quicker than a man will friend zone a woman. He'll friend zone her if, if he knows something about her, most likely that doesn't sit well with him. It's not going to be just necessarily because she doesn't look good. I mean, if they're that shallow, sometimes that could be a reason, but it could be because, she's out here in the streets like that, or, she's messed with his man at one point in time, or, something more personal about why he won't mess with her and keep her in the friend zone. More so than just like, I like her, and she's cute, but, whatever kind of reason, where women are way more petty when they're younger and will take a man kind of out the friend zone only when she feels that she has no other options. And that's not right either, So I think that the friends to lovers is a transition that happens when people truly have a mutual respect for each other, when they have a truly understanding of each other, that they know each other. The Experience says, I do still believe that a man should date or court a woman still. Definitely. And the thing is, it's keeping yourself open and present, instead of looking for the future. A lot of the times we have a very idealistic view of what our relationship or what this experience with this person should be. And I think that the courting makes that so you don't have any idealistic views. You can see it for yourself. So that's why I believe that the courting stage, and I'm a big fan of courting. I'm a big fan of courting somebody because you get to see exactly how it would be if y'all were an item without sex, if y'all so choose to. Like I said, sex complicates things. If y'all can do that and still be able to, whatever, then that's great. But for a lot of people, sex complicates things, especially if the sex is good. Then that's one reason why they don't want to leave when the relationship is toxic and you realize it's not going to work. Okay? Which kind of leads into my next thing. But does anyone have anything to add before I go on to the next topic? Because I think that's the only way that a friends to lovers can work is if you already, if you actually know that person. Because friends can know each other but not truly know each other, right? If somebody is going to be your better half, they have to know you, right? They have to have a great understanding of who you are. Just like how they know themselves, it's like you have to have that same understanding. And I don't think people have that the same. Adam Richards Stunts Official says, get to know each other, do the thing you both like. Yes, true. But like I said, you have to feed into each other. You have to pour into each other and not play games. And that's part of what the courting process is. It's like, this is where we're not going to play any games. We're going to be upfront, and this is how we're going to be. So if you don't like to wear makeup most of the time, then you're not wearing makeup most of the time. If you are a messy man, there's no representatives, basically. There's no representatives. So that's what's important. The Lilo Experience says that's true. They have to know pretty much everything about you and vice versa. Exactly. And so then you can get to really know if that's the person that is going to be here forever, because that's what we're kind of looking for, right? Nobody wants to be with somebody that they don't expect to be with forever. So those are my ideas of the friends to lovers and how that can happen, because as we know, the rom-coms and all the things that I stated on how a relationship can be cultivated, basically, is those kinds of things could either be trauma bonding, which is the worst, most toxic one, and then being able to just be friends and then realizing y'all have a lot of things in common, or basically having sex and dating and then realizing it's not going to work and then becoming friends that way, which can either work or not. That can be toxic in itself, right? Because the person moving forward, you dating somebody else, maybe that is not as comfortable or whatever with that relationship, knows that that person has had you And that kind of leads to something that I had in my story, right, about body counts. But that can be something for another day. The second topic we're going to go into is when to let go, right? So when do you let go of a relationship? When is it so stale that you're just like, I have to end this. It has to be over. Well, from my own personal experience, I'm going to say when I have cried and I can cry no more. And really that is what it is, to be completely true, is that I think that it's time to let go when you start to see yourself being someone that you're not. I think that's really when you need to say, I'm stepping away, when you feel like you are changing who you are as a person. Like when you are genuinely a happy person, but you're always angry, right? Whenever they get on the phone, you start being mean to them and nasty, and it's like, you're a positive person. Why did you let this person instantly change your behavior? Or you become overly petty, you know, or nitpicking, or whatever case might be. That's when it's like, you know what? I need to step back. This may be not the relationship for me. Like when, you know, guy, you've always liked him, you know, like your men thick, and then you'd be like, yo, damn, you seem like you've been putting on some pounds, getting fat, you know, and start trying to chip away at the other person's self-esteem. Before that happens, get out. When you feel that you have cried no more for the relationship and everything like that, and you've done all that you can do, that is when it's time to get out. When you are in the point of like despair and helplessness, before you even get to that point, because sometimes people don't see that they can leave because they start to manifest negative thoughts. Like, I won't be able to leave this relationship. I won't be good enough to leave this relationship. I will not be able to find anybody better and stuff like that, especially if they're the ones dealing with abuse. If it's just like y'all are constantly fighting and bickering and everything like that, then you know it's not going to work. But that's when you need to let it go. The relationship is no longer serving you. And it's changing who you are, like I said. I remember when I was in a relationship myself, and I called it quits when I actually didn't want to live anymore, honestly. I was very depressed in the relationship. I was so depressed where I was like, I felt like I was trapped in it. Not because I was in an abusive relationship, but it was because I loved this person and they weren't doing what they needed to do in the relationship, and they didn't see it. And it's like, and at that time I was like, I either love you. At that time I was like, I either love you and deal with this and constantly be stressed out because of finances. Because like that's a leading relationship breaker, right? And it was more of not having a conversation, because sometimes if you can be broke and y'all are having a conversation on how to deal with it and stuff like that, it's the miscommunications, it's the lack of talking, it's the lack of communication, it's the secrets that are the breakdown of why financial shit happens. Not because y'all are talking about it and because y'all just broke. That's not the reason. It's because of the other bullshit that's hiding because why you're broke. Because if you're going towards something, or y'all are broke and y'all trying to figure it out together, why should there be a breakdown of the relationship? No. The breakdown of the relationship happens when there's no communication about what is being spent in the joint bank account. There's a communication when that utility bill was supposed to be paid and you spent it on some Jordans, or she spent it on some jewelry. Like, that is when the finances becomes a problem, not because you have financial concerns, you know, because as average people, unless you really doing well like that, you're always gonna be stressed about money. That's just the living truth in this economy. Like, you're just going to have to deal with the financial burden, so, and be stressed out. So that's all of us out here. That's all of us out here. I mean, some are like, have looser pockets than others, but I'm just saying, like, none of us right now, where we're so off that that we're not focused on our finances, where we're just spending with no regard. Like, I'm just gonna swipe, and have no regard of money. Like, that's crazy, and no one's at that point. That's in my circle anyway. Once we get there, maybe, but still, I'm a Taurus. I'm not gonna let that happen, even though I do like nice things. I'm not gonna let that happen. But so I feel like that is when you want to break up a relationship with the person, with your significant other, is when it becomes toxic and you're no longer who you are. Okay. I'm gonna refill my red Moscato tonight for the vibe. Okay. Now, we've talked about topic number 1. We've talked about topic number 2. Now we're on to topic number 3. Right? The doozy. The one that nobody's supposed to talk about, right? Because that's what part of this show is, right? Talking about things that people don't feel comfortable talking about. People that, scared to say what's on their mind. It's not, I mean, I try to be political, I try to be respectful, but I'm going to say what's on my mind, and that's just what it is. I'm always going to try to be respectful. If you don't know me, then you're going to say, oh, yeah, she's being rude, whatever. But I try to be respectful. Some things that I say might not come out completely like that, but I try to be completely respectful. But before I get on to this third topic, I just wanted to let y'all know to check out Always Keep Your Crown Straight Crown and Beard Oil. Okay, it's all natural, infused with herbs and ingredients that help with hair growth, with dandruff, with scalp health and shine. Okay, avocado oil, bamboo extract, horsetail extract. Check it out. Check it out. It's bomb, and it comes in 4 cents. Definitely check it out. It's great. You see this? I use it every day. Or every other day, because it's for 2 days. So definitely check it out. It's great. Smells good. Yeah. All that. So, third topic, right? Can cis women and transgender women get along? Or will they constantly fight about who's the real woman? Okay. Now, this was a hot topic in the brain chamber, a hot topic, because the guys were like, well, if she's transgender, she's a dude regardless. Like, I'll give her the respect of her being a she, but she's a he regardless. When she's not in the room, she's a he. I'm gonna like you start off as a man. So I'm like, okay, that's one person's point of view. The others were a little bit softer than that, and they were like, I believe that they can get along, right? They can get along because they're both going towards the same goal, right? Which is to be, to live in their truth, right? Woman that was born a woman is living in her truth, and the transgender woman is transitioning, right? Transition to live in her truth, right? So that's cool. That's politically corrective. Den 10 promo says no to what? What do you say no to? Are you still here? Oh, yes, you're still here. Say no to what? Okay, well, you get the chance to type. I'm not gonna rush you, but so my thoughts were, because I'm gonna share what I think too and everything like that. Because I'm not. I would say this in polite conversation. And like I said, it's Kaynichole After Dark, and all open. T women wants to be what natural women are. Yes. Okay, so my thing was, a concern was that, okay, this became a hot topic this week, right? Because Nike recently is selling bras, and they picked a person that's claiming transgender, Dylan McConey, as their new spokesperson, right? Now, this person claims to be transgender, yet they still have their male parts, okay? And a lot of women, right, are in uproar about this, because they said you could have gotten any woman to do this, okay? You could have gotten any woman to do this. Even more towards the left, right? That you could have found other women that have already transitioned, right, to be the face of Nike for this ad. You didn't have to get a person that still hasn't transitioned, right, to be the spokesperson for this Nike ad. Love the potential. Are you currently sponsored? No, I am not, but you can always email me or DM me, and we can talk more about that. Thank you. Den 10 promo says it will always be a slap in the face. Well, as a woman, I am saying that I never requested to be a cis woman. I don't know where that came from. I know there wasn't a census where we elected to say, oh, I wanted to be called cis. Because a lot of women are upset about that term, to be honest with you. We are upset that we have to change what's natural to accommodate someone to not hurt their feelings, because it's really about feelings to me. Okay, I'm speaking for myself. To me it seems it's about feelings, because women breastfeed. We don't have a chest. A man has a chest. So when you call it chest feeding, why are you removing the BR and replacing it with the CH? Why are you doing that? Well, BREA, right? Why are you removing that? To make you feel better. 1010 promo says white males made up these rules. Well, I don't know who made up the rules. All I'm saying is that they are a construct that now exists, right? So it's about understanding that, right? And there's a lot of controversy about that, about this. And I feel that 100% they could have picked somebody else. Why they selected this particular person, I don't know. I'm not on Nike's boardroom, but I do agree with a lot of women out there that they could have selected a lot of different people. Now, Caitlyn Jenner said recently, right, that she agreed that trans women should not be playing in Olympic sports, in women's Olympic sports, right? And a lot of women perceived that positively. And it was because a transgender person had stated that. But it should be logical. And I feel that a lot of times we're having this fight and this controversy because we're dealing with illogical people trying to have an argument in a logical world. And I think that is what the biggest problem is. Because a trans woman can never be a real woman. And the reason why is because they can't change their DNA to be XX. That's the first part. The second part is that they can never have children biologically. And that is the only reason that they can't be a quote-unquote real woman. And that is the logic part of it. People don't want to be logical. Now, if a man is interested in a trans woman, That's all great and dandy because they can still have a family. No one's denying that they can't adopt and do everything like that, because that's what real women do that can't give birth do, right? If they want kids, they still adopt and everything like that. So we're not trying to take anything away from you. I don't think anybody's, that's what we're not trying to do. But it's the illogicalness of I'm a better because because I was created, and you can never be better than the original. And that is what us women are trying to say. You cannot be better than the original. Like, yes, you can have, you know, you can't be better than the original. You just can't. Even when people get upgrades and stuff of things, you know, it's never than the original. You got, everyone was hyped. When the original color screen TV came out, that was big shit. That was on the news. Everybody was like, yo, let's get a color TV. When more color TVs came out and just bigger screens and stuff like that, do you hear the hype? No, you do not hear the hype. You do not hear the hype. They do not get excited and everything like that. It's just another one that came out. It's just another model. But the hype is never there because it's never better than the original. And I think that is the only thing. Because I'm never going to take it. So, I believe we can get along as long as there's mutual respect. You know what you know, and I know what I know, and we here with it. There's no disrespect with it. And I think that is the only way that there can be no longer this war of cis women and transgender women. Because if we can understand, okay, and be logical with it and not emotional with it, then we will be good with it. You know what I'm saying? We'll be good with it. But it's when you start putting the emotional shit in there and be like, oh yeah, because the man had sex with a transgender and he was like, your built pussy was so good. He's like, oh yeah, and he hyped you up or said whatever, that you out here in the streets saying that you're better than natural women. Sit back and hush up. Because life comes through here. Life comes through here. And I think that that's the understanding. Like, yes, you decide you're living in your truth, and I respect you for that. I respect you for that. You were like, fuck that. My name is not Herbert. It's Himana. And I will respect that. Hello, Himana. Nice to meet you, Himana. But no. I will not say that we are equals. And if you can respect me on that, then we here with it. Because we are not equals. You will never truly understand what it is to be a woman. You can work on getting as close as you can, but you will never truly understand. Like, I will never truly understand what it is to be transgender. I will never understand what it is to not accept the body that I was born in. What a devastating thing to have to go through. To reject the body that you were born in. I could never understand that problem. Like, you could never understand the problem of having a period and having pain once a month. And the pain of giving childbirth, that some women die in it. You could never understand it. Like, I will never understand how it is to have to get shots every month. Hormonal shots. And get my Adam's apple shaved and do all these kinds of different things and talking to different psychologists, you know, just to prove the fact that I am what I say I am on the inside. How I could ever understand that. So yeah, we are not equals. So as long as we can respect that, I think we will be just fine. I don't know how y'all feel about that. Den 10 promo says it's like God made a mistake. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. God created all people. He made no mistakes. So if you don't like yourself, that's something within you and you want to change yourself, because we're not even going to go into the statistics of that, you know. That's why you have to see therapists, because if you do it too soon, a lot of people that do it too soon, like when they're doing it at 14, 15, when they're puberty, and they say that a lot of them are very upset because they revert back to their previous gender. Because they didn't take the time to really truly understand themselves and everything like that. Like, it's a lot to it. But I'm saying because females have an issue being in their own body. You know, even dealing with puberty and having breasts and learning to like yourself and weight gain and everything like that. So I can't even imagine what a person that's a woman that's transgender could be dealing with. So as long as the understanding is that we are not the same, we can come together. Because we could never understand each other's path to become where we are. And yes, I'll acknowledge you as a woman because you did what you had to do to get to this point, to look, sound, be a woman. But as long as we logically know that where babies come from and all that, then we can respect each other. But when you start saying like you're better than me, this, that, and the third, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. And that's why, I mean, it's just like, I mean, to compare it to the most simplistic form, you would compare it to racism, because that's a person, like a white person saying that they're how the fuck are you better because your skin is, miss me with that, please. It doesn't make any sense. But I'm Afrocentric, so you know I'm going to say who's the master race, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to do that tonight. But Lila Experience says, I hear you. So we're not going to do that tonight. But I do feel that we can come together. Also, for those that are coming in and everything, if you can buy a badge, buy a gift, you know, support my page, support my channel. I don't say that enough, but please do support my page, support my channel. Den 10 promo says that's how it starts off. What do you mean that's how it starts off? I'm sorry. I'm you know, you have to type or join in the conversation. If you want to join in, you're more than able to, you know, join in. If you came in and you just want to pop in and start talking, no, I don't do those. You have to be a part of the conversation to be actually then entered into the conversation. You know, experience topic for another time. What's the topic for another time? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm talking so much and it's just like, you know, so I apologize, but this was a really big conversation. Like I said, when we were having the conversation, with my people, you know, about this topic. Got a lot of people riled up, and I can understand why, because it's an emotional topic, because women are saying, when were all these things put in place for me just so that I can accept you? And that's crazy. I don't understand why now so many of us want to shut, because we have the opportunity to do so, that we want to stifle another person's voice just because we don't want to hear it. I don't know when this became a thing. Like, yes, we have freedom of speech. Yes, you don't want, but it's like, speak your truth. And I feel like we're putting lies out here. Den 10 promo says feelings over facts. Yeah, I think that's what's been happening, and that blows my mind. I just think that makes us more ignorant as a society, and makes us more ignorant as people when we put all our everything into emotions. Like, no, there's actual facts out here. Scientists and people did hard ass work for this to be in our books that people are trying to throw away. Lilo experienced that what you said before about the superior race. Oh yes, that is definitely a topic for another time. But yeah, so I want to be able to have more conversations like this. I mean, guys aren't really, I appreciate, but if anybody wants to come on screen, be more than happy to do so. But I would be understanding too, because these are sensitive topics. And like I said, I don't mind putting myself out there because I tell no lies. I'm really here to, like I said, I feel like it's part of my job. My background is therapy, is counseling, is, you know, dealing with mental health and everything like that. So I don't want to put too much of that. Sometimes I want it to be lighthearted because, I want it to be lighthearted because I don't want anybody to take anything out of context and try to sue me or whatever. But also because I want to be able to teach in a way that is informative, but allows you guys to use your own mind and kind of like think about it, you know, because I think that people are trying to dumb people down out here. People are trying to make people real stupid out here. And it's like, you really have to pay attention and be mindful. Because they do, like Den 10 said, they put feelings over facts, and it's just like, why? Because you don't want to make somebody feel a certain way and everything like that. When did we give everybody trophies? Just trying to make everybody feel good, kumbaya. No, there's going to be people that are going to be upset in the corner, and they're going to be mad. And you know what? It makes you a stronger person. And the thing is that we're doing this, not thinking about how it's going to affect 5-10 years down the road. And that's what I was talking about in my stories. I don't know if people really pay my stories like that or in my stories like that, because sometimes I be on my joke shit, but sometimes I be dropping jewels. For real, I be dropping jewels, because it's like, if you pay attention about what's going on out here, mass shootings. Yes, those two councilmen were reinstated, Jones and the other gentleman, I don't know why his name escapes me right now, but it's really becoming a separation and a divide. And it's like, if you're not paying attention to your finances, to your education, to having land and real estate, then you're going to be in jeopardy. And I'm just saying, just be on the radar. You don't have to be like, oh my goodness, I'm going to buy some land tomorrow, and you live in, on Section 8. Like, I get that. That's not going to work for anybody, you know, but I'm saying to be mindful, to be having a plan for these things, because it's getting nuts out here. It's getting nuts, and you just have to be on top of your game. And I'm saying, like, watch what's going on. And my hands are busy, and that's why I seem like it's an excuse, but it's not an excuse, because I've been trying to stay consistent with a lot of things. But because I see everything that's going on, I'm like, I need to work on this. I need to work on this. I need to work on this, because I need to be ready, because I don't know what's going to happen down 5-10 years down the road. I know something's about to happen. I don't know really what, but I can feel it. And if you can feel it, and if you are still staying one with what's everything that's going on, then you'll see it. And I feel like we have all these other distractions out here, and it's like, no, be mindful, be on your toes, that there's such a divide. People are trying to alienate people for whatever reason, that there's causing all this divide and separation between the fight of the genders, fight of the everything, you know, man versus woman, woman versus transgender. Like, it's just like, it seems like everybody's fighting with everybody. And I'm just saying, just keep your head on the swivel, keep yourself minded. Legal experience has kids going missing as well, mostly our children. Yes, like I said, it's just a lot crazy shit. And I believe the young woman in Aruba, they just found those kids not guilty, right? They said there was no issue really going on or whatever. Like, there was no real foul play with those particular people that she went with. And that's a shame that nobody is going to be held accountable for that, because somebody did some foul shit. Because what we saw in those videotapes should have never occurred if she had gone with friends. I know this is going off topic, but it's still, like I said, I try to tie everything together, and it's still about us being able to build relationships. Because, like I said, this is my Kaynichole After Dark is really about relationships and navigating them and all of it. Everything that we can't talk about in the sun, talk about it in the dark. Because we're going to talk about it. Little experiences, that's crazy. Yeah. But it's 10:50. Got a few more minutes before we close up Kaynichole After Dark. Remember that you can see past episodes on YouTube on Kaynichole After Dark on the channel. Please subscribe. Please like. Again, commercial for always keep your crown straight. Crown and beard oil. Get that. You'll love it. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. The Lila Experience says, yeah, they should have had her back and looked out for her. Yeah, but like I said, those weren't her friends. Those weren't her friends. And again, like, in all of what we've discussed this evening about friends being lovers, when to break up, women, cis women against trans women, is about communicating and knowing what's really going on. It's about having a real conversation. And you know how to transition friends to lovers if you have a conversation. You know when it's time to end a relationship when you have a conversation. You know when to end it before the conversation, but if y'all are mature, y'all will have a conversation. And the cis women and trans women can get along better if they have a conversation. But we just gotta wait, and we're gonna sit back and see what happens with that. But yeah, until that time, friends to lovers was going to be awkward. People are going to become toxic while they figure out when to break up. And women, whether they're born that way or transitioned, will continue to fight about who is a real woman for whatever the fucking reason is, even though we know science. Go figure. Throw the whole world away. But all I can say is, the listeners agreed. Yeah, we have to have a conversation. We have to have a conversation. And so, whether you're in relationships, friendships, or partnerships that are just in business, when the breakdown happens, all is required for you to sit and talk and to be authentic and honest about what's really going on. No bullshit. Until such a time, miscommunications will continue to happen, breakdowns will continue to happen, and feelings will continue to be hurt. So, I'm going to bid you all adieu this evening. Thank you all for tuning in to Kaynichole After Dark. Again, please go to the YouTube and subscribe and like. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Thank you again for tuning in. And above all, always keep your crown straight. Take care.